stand? Please stand for the salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, and forever in peace may you reign. From the end from home, the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, where they never a boast or brag. To all acquaintance meet throughout, keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our lower school closing. What a year this has been. It was a different year, but it was another wonderful school year. Our lower school remained open with children on campus the entire year. We are so grateful. Thank you to our wonderful students. Not all are here today, but especially our fifth graders. I can still say fifth graders because you haven't graduated yet. Our incredible teachers, our supportive and understanding parents. A great big thank you to you. Because of you, we were able to enjoy being with our friends in person or remotely every single day. So let's see what's been going on this year in our lower school. 2 weeks ago, we celebrated our first incredible virtual Family Day. Thanks to Miss Espinosa, Mr. Lamb and his entire PE staff, Mrs. Varga, and Mrs. Turk, we saw our lower school children in PE, world cultures, art, and music classes hard at work. Our kindergartners filled their classroom bucket many times again this year, and each time this happened, they did something special for someone else. Thank you for treating others to such wonderful acts of kindness. Mrs. Keene and I always knew when our first graders were leaving at the end of a school day because, led by Mr. Lewis and Mrs. Corbin, they danced their way up the stairs and out the door, often singing the entire way. What a way to end the school day. Our second graders completed their penguin projects with the help of their teachers, including Mrs. Miller. They are incredible researchers and artists. Our third graders, their creativity showed immensely during their poetry cafe. They brought smiles to everyone who was able to see them in action. Great job, third graders. And our fourth graders had their Ethnic Pride Festival last week, and again, theirs was virtual. But not only did they have an Ethnic Pride Festival and showed the different things regarding their ethnic heritage, but they also showed us how kindness comes to be at Rutgers Prep. Thank you, fourth graders. Now, fifth graders. You've been our leaders in the lower school. We've counted on you this year. Your willingness to help others in the school community, your leading by example, and your determination to be responsible young adults, ready to begin a new journey next year when you enter the middle school. So today we have lots to do, so I think we should get started. Let me do a few thank yous first. Our incredible, incredible maintenance staff for setting everything up for us today, and not only today, but throughout the school year. So join me in thanking our maintenance crew. our tech department and our tech crew for always supporting us with our Chromebooks or with any things we needed to get done to bring things virtually to you, such as Ethnic Pride or such as our Greek festival, or everyday items in the classroom, or today, for example, for helping us to tape and to have all of our sound system working. So a great big thank to our tech department. To Ms. Espinosa for leading us in song not only today, but throughout the school year. So thank you, Ms. Espinosa. To our awesome Parents Association. And every member of our school community is part of the Parents Association. This year was a little bit different, but you still supported us in many, many ways. So a great big thank you to our Parents Association. To our incredible, incredible faculty. A great big thank you for everything you've done this year and always. To our staff, our administration, our friends, to Mrs. Keene for all that she does all the time, thank you all. To one person who has been really at the top of the list for making sure that we were able to stay in school this whole year, for making sure Rutgers Prep runs the way it does. A great big thank you to Dr. Loy. And the people I need to thank the most are our incredible students, because without you, there is no Rutgers Preparatory School. So a great big thank you to our pre-kindergarten through our 5th grade students. Now I would like to ask Ms. Espinosa to lead us in singing the school song. So I'd like to ask everyone to please stand.
Good morning. The Monarch Award was established to honor Ann Jablow. Mrs. Jablow was a 4th grade teacher at Rutgers Preparatory School for 18 years. The name of the award refers to the monarch butterflies about which she loved to teach. The monarch symbolizes the metamorphosis or change that a student experiences in 5th grade. Mrs. Jablow loved to watch the butterflies change and enjoyed watching her 4th graders transform into 5th grade students. This award goes to the 5th grader who exhibited the most growth academically, emotionally, and socially over the course of this school year. This year, we have a tie. The awards are presented to Daniel Lernerman and Zainab Hollow.
Daniel, this way. Congratulations. Congratulations. The Roseanne Howarth's Principal's Recognition Award is given to a student in the 5th grade who has, by the affirmation of 5th grade peers, acted as a real pal to fellow classmates over a period of at least 2 years as a student in the lower school. Students in the 5th grade were each asked to vote for a real pal or buddy, someone who always showed kindness and was a friend to everyone. The Roseanne Howarth Principal's Recognition Award for 2021 is presented to Ibrahim Rasul. I'd like to ask Zainab Jalla to come up to speak about lower school responsibilities and opportunities for leadership.
The fifth, okay. The 5th grade participated in a class called Leadership every Tuesday. Mrs. Klinger and Dr. Winograd were our teachers. During this class, we learned to be leaders of the lower school and to be kind to each other. We did multiple projects in our leadership class. However, due to COVID, we were more restricted in helping our local places of need. We enjoyed being leaders of the lower school.
In pre-K, my teachers were Miss Papa and Miss Gustin. I have many great memories from pre-K. One memory I have is when I first tried pineapple. I liked pineapple because it had a sweet flavor. Next, I remember going to the pumpkin patch. It was a lot of fun. Another memory was that I always wanted to play with the trucks and blocks. I always enjoyed dress up. We dressed up as police officers and firefighters. I remember being a firefighter for Halloween. One of my favorite memories was when I could always run around the table with the cars. During rest time, when I couldn't sleep, I would eavesdrop on Miss Papa's conversations. When we had circle time, we would sing Days of the Week. Days of the Week. These were my favorite memories in pre-K.
Well done, DJ.
It has been quite some time since junior kindergarten. Because of that, I've forgotten a lot of memories, but some are still vivid. There was one memory that most people would remember, and that's the Rainforest Project. We learned all about the rainforest. After all the research, we turned our classroom into a rainforest, and then invited our families to come in and take a look. We also had a Thanksgiving feast with food that the class made. Some of the foods I remember are mashed potatoes, cranberry relish, cornbread, soup, and pie. Mrs. Putnell and her assistant, Mrs. Knox, were great teachers. One of the most popular memories from other children in the ECEC was nap time. There were blue mattresses, your own pillow and blanket. During nap time, most of the children in junior kindergarten didn't actually sleep. I'm sure they all regret it now. I'm so grateful that I was able to be in junior kindergarten.
Kindergarten was my first year at Rutgers Prep. My teachers were Mrs. Jankowski and Mrs. Murgis, and it was amazing. The highlight of kindergarten was fourth grade buddies. Fourth grade buddies were fourth graders who did cool activities with us. They also took us to the dining commons for the first time. One of my favorite things to do in kindergarten was to make bead projects. Bead projects are where you have small beads and you slip them on a string to form something like Santa, pilgrims, the year, and more. Sometime in spring, we had a field trip to a hospital where they taught us about health, and we even received a teddy bear to wrap a cast on its arm or leg. I still have mine to this day. The last favorite memory that I have was on the 100th day of school. We did many activities that had to do with the number 100. My favorite activity was when we guessed where in the building we would be in 100 steps. I was the only one who guessed the ideas room, which is like tech but for younger kids. And guess what? I was right. This proves that kindergarten taught me many things and was one of the best grades.
In first grade, Miss Corbin took a field trip with us to an exhibit called Grounds for Sculpture. It was cool to see all the different types of sculptures. I also loved how some of the sculptures went well with the nature. As a behavior system, there was a card chart. You started off as green every day, and if you did something bad, you moved to yellow. If you did the same thing again, you moved to orange. If you did one more bad thing after that, you moved to red. Red was the last color, so if you got to red, you had to sit out of recess and write a letter to your parents. Once a week, Miss Corbin chose a student to make this poster about themselves. They were called Star Students. This project helped us learn about each other. First grade was able to help us prepare for the next year. It truly was a great year.
One of my favorite memories in second grade was when the class and I went to Sandy Hook. First, it took about 45 minutes to arrive there by bus. After that, we all took turns getting into a suit so that we wouldn't get wet in the water. Next, our tour guide told us all about the seashells, and animals washed up on the shore. Lastly, we got a net and fished by getting animals where we would throw the net and pull it back in. Then we would look for the sea animals. I had a wonderful day. The second thing I remember in second grade was when every day our teacher, Miss Knox, would tell us a funny joke at morning circle. We would all laugh and we would share our jokes. The third thing I remember in second grade was when me and my friend Dina Corral made a penguin out of cardboard, paper, and staples. We researched all about the penguin and we colored it. I had a very amazing time in second grade.
Third grade. Third grade was an awesome year, and my teacher was Miss Klinger. First of all, I'm going to talk about field trips. The best field trip I've ever had was probably in third grade. We went to this place in Pennsylvania. It was a very long ride. When we got there, we learned about the weapons used in wars 200 years ago. We also held a competition on who can reload a cannon the fastest. My second memory of third grade is when we had Pioneer Day. It was a day when we acted like characters from a book and had a very good lunch with our families. Last but not least, my third memory. In third grade, there were numerous injuries, and quite few of them seemed to be from sports. There was one time where one of my friends fractured his arm. We got a sinus cast. Another time, I almost broke my ankle, and I had to wear an ace bandage for a week.
My favorite fourth grade memory was when we went to Ellis Island. Our teacher was Miss Witham. My mom and dad both chaperoned, and we got to go on separate vans with two of my friends, Ben P. and Daniel. When we arrived at Ellis Island, we did some exercises and then we got a passport. We were led by a tour guide around Ellis Island. We also went to see the names written on the stones of the people who came through Ellis Island back in the day. Later, we got to go on a ferry to see the Statue of Liberty. It was also my birthday and it was raining. The day was awesome.
Switching to remote learning taught us to be independent and responsible students. I can definitely say that virtual learning was hard. For example, when we were learning important information, the screen would freeze or would start glitching. I can't imagine how it must have been for the teachers on the other end. I remember the first time I went remote. I didn't know how Zoom worked. I didn't know how to submit my homework. I didn't know what going through a pandemic would be like, and I didn't know when I would be able to return to school. I'm not confused anymore. In fact, I've gained experience from it. Although virtual learning wasn't easy for our class, we've been able to help each other through it, and we have learned a lot from it.
In the past years, we've recognized a few of our parents for their help and support. However, so many of you have helped us that time does not permit us to mention you individually by name. Let me name some of the many ways you've helped us. You have served us as class parents. You have come into the classrooms virtually to share a custom, a hobby, or your profession. You helped us with Parents Association activities. You have read to our classes, again virtually. Please join us in a big thank you to our parents, grandparents, and friends for all their help and support.
And now for the presentation of certificates to our class of 2028. Mrs. Vincher and Mrs. Kuchar, would you please come forward?
Kira Roy.
Fifth graders will now share their favorite memories of the lower school. Imagine this. You're a 10-year-old in class and you're done with your project. One of your friends needed help. You went over to help them. When they finished the project, your teacher gave you a venture voucher. You were so delighted. But wait, what's a venture voucher? A venture voucher is something you get if your behavior is really good. If you make poor choices, it can be taken away from you. During the first part of the year, if you got 50 venture vouchers, you could get a homework pass and a free Frosty coupon. Now, Wendy's does not sell Frosty coupons, so if you accumulate 35 venture vouchers, you could purchase a free homework pass.
Great job, Andrew Bayanovsky.
Howdy! My favorite memory from 5th grade was when we had a virtual leadership retreat in leadership class with Dr. Winograd. We got to assign people a leadership role like researchers and motivators, which was very interactive. We also got pizza for lunch and an extra recess, which was lots of fun.
Shreya Chinthamaineni.
When we were in history class, we got to make our own Kahoot about Greek mythology. Kahoot is an interactive quiz in the form of an online game. We had to split in groups and work together to find information. I really enjoyed the process of creating a Kahoot and seeing everyone getting to play it too.
Emery Fields.
On Family Fun Night, we had no homework, so I loved it. Family Fun Night was 2 days a month, and when it was on a Monday, I was able to spend more time at the YMCA. I loved it because majority of the class was happy that they didn't have to take the time out of their day to do homework.
Good job,
Julius Grandinetti.
One of my favorite memories from 5th grade is this game we played called 1, 2, 3. You play by having one person say 1, and another person says 2, and another person says 3, and so on. You have to restart if 2 people say the same number at the same time. One time on our first try, we got over 10. This game takes teamwork, patience, and perseverance. Great job. Thank you.
Zainab Jalla.
I loved learning about more about other cultures and countries, and world culture was a fun way to learn about new places. We learned about countries like Turkey, Jordan, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Mexico, Israel, Madagascar, and the United Arab Emirates. For each country we traveled to, Senior Turk gave us a stamp, which we glued into our passport books. My favorite country was Mexico because I enjoy taking the Mexican jumping beans home and naming them Amber and Mia.
Rishi Joas.
My favorite 5th grade memory is the early human migration rap song. This amazing experience was for history class. It is my favorite memory because it gave us an opportunity to use our creativity and imagination to present in front of our class. My group had Ben M., Davin, Julius, and me. Our song was based on instrumental music from Rick and Morty.
Daniel Lernerman.
My favorite memory from 5th grade was on Halloween. The best part was when we got to put on our costumes in the classroom. Halloween spirit was in the air. I was a killer clown. We also watched a movie called Welcome Back to Halloween Town. Halloween was one of the best days of 5th grade.
Ella Lynn.
As many might know, today is the last day of school. I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the first day of school. On September 9th, most of the class was at their desks while others were at home. In the morning, Mrs. Venture gave all of the students a word search. When I first stepped into the classroom, it was mostly empty. I was able to see some of the new students projected on a screen on Zoom. I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to make new friends and be in Mrs. Venture and Mrs. Kuchar's class.
Carl Lowe.
In PE, we played sports and exercise. Some sports that we played in PE were lacrosse, softball, basketball, and volleyball. There were warm-ups as well. One warm-up was that we rolled dice and there was an exercise named on it, such as jumping jacks and sit-ups. We had a bunch of fun.
Benjamin Marshall.
In math class, we would sometimes play the 24 game. We would use 4 numbers to make the number 24, implementing the 4 operations. When we were in math class, Mrs. Venture told us that we were going to make our own 24 game. Instead of using numbers to make the number 24, we would use numbers to make the number 20. The best part was when you solved it. It would make you feel like a winner inside.
Davin Engel.
In history class, we got to make our own country. My country was called Ratland, and I made a monument similar to the Statue of Liberty, but the name of mine was the Statue of Liberty. My favorite part about this project is when I could draw, color, and outline the city and other landmarks with my friends.
Kashira Pauladugu.
Black History Month was the memory of 5th grade that I enjoyed the most. We watched a movie during history class called Hidden Figures. It was about 3 intelligent black women that worked at NASA who helped launch the Mercury Atlas rocket into orbit and how they recovered the Friendship 7 capsule. Learning about Black History Month was so lively, colorful, unique, and inspiring.
Krish Patel.
My favorite memories of 5th grade was when we built the STEAM projects. One STEAM project I liked was when we made a pullback vehicle. And my favorite part was when we raced our cars. I love when we do STEAM projects because we can compete on some projects, and I also like that we can take a break from academics and build. I had a really good time in STEAM in 5th grade.
Benjamin Prager.
My favorite memory from recess was when we played wiffle ball. We played wiffle ball on the field. At recess, the bases were hula hoops. If you hit a home run, it had to go over the fence. I played wiffle ball with my classmates. I will miss wiffle ball.
Ibrahim Rasul.
During the year, Mrs. Kuchar and Mrs. Venture would take us outside in front of the elm farm for mask breaks. For a few minutes, we would get to take off our masks, but we had to stay socially distanced. Mask breaks were a favorable idea, and everybody loved mask breaks because we got to take off our masks and breathe fresh air.
Manasi Samantha Pudi.
My 5th grade memory was when we had family day. One of my favorite parts of that day was when we had ice cream, but my delicious pink ice cream fell on the ground and it still remains there till this day. After that, we had recess, a time for others and me to play wiffle ball in the soccer field, even though it's a soccer field. The last thing we did that made me joyful was delivering pizza to the tiny kindergartners.
DJ Santawaso.
My favorite memory in 5th grade was the Nile River Project. It was so much fun. We did the Nile River Project because we were learning about topography of Egypt. In history class, we used cardboard, dough, and paint to make a relief map. That's my favorite memory in 5th grade.
Shayan Srijit.
The compliment post-it poster was one of my favorite memories, where students would be rewarded for good behavior. Every time the teacher took off the post-its, a secret message was revealed. We could win a reward and everyone would get excited. The last 2 rewards were no homework and extra recess, which were the best rewards.
Yep. Thank you, Mrs. Kuchar and Mrs. Venture. It is with great pleasure and pride that we introduce to you the most amazing lower school graduating class of 2021.
Risha, are you going to unlock?
Graduates of 2028, please enjoy our singing of the song We Can Move the World.
We can move the world, we can move the world, we can touch the sky, we can touch the sky, we can climb the highest mountains, spread our wings and fly. We can learn to be what it is we're meant to be. We can learn to grab our dreams and look for all possibilities. We can move the world. to hear this storied and beautiful school. The brick and the stone create the building we know, but we are the heart and the soul. We can move the world. These shoes have wings, watch us run. We will strive to reach our goals, shining like diamonds in the noonday sun, surrounded by the friends we've come to know. We can move the world, we can move the world, we can touch the sky, we can touch the sky, we can climb the highest mountains, spread our wings and fly. We can learn to be, we can learn to be what it is we're meant to be. We can learn to grab our dreams and look for all possibilities. We can move the world.
Ms. Espinoza, that is such a beautiful song. And sixth graders, as I'm going to address you in a minute, don't ever forget that you can move the world. Don't ever forget that. That is such a beautiful song and so appropriate for today. Thank you. I'm also thankful that Mrs. Keene didn't make my writing too small here so I can read it. I actually could take my glasses off if I needed to, but I'm okay. Well, what a year. Congratulations, fifth grade, or should I say sixth graders. You've shown Mrs. Vincher, Mrs. Kuchar, and all of your teachers, and Mrs. Russin, that you are ready to make more responsibility as members of the Rutgers Prep community. While you're probably thinking more about the summer than about the sixth grade, I want to let you know that we in the middle school are excited for you to join us next year. There's some really great opportunities that await you in the fall, from choosing +1 classes to which music ensemble you will be taking, to moving from class to class, to making new friends. The middle school offers a whole host of opportunities for you to try new things. Most important is the fact that as middle school students, your parents, your teachers, and I will expect more from you than you're currently doing and how it impacts others. We know you're ready to take this responsibility. The school is about learning, but it's also about relationships. Our goals as members of the community is to work towards being the best classmate, the best student, the best son or daughter, and the best friend we can be. When you come to school on the first day next year, you'll hear me talk to the entire middle school about the golden rule, how it's important to practice kindness to everyone every day. Because you know what happens when you practice something every day? It becomes a habit and a skill that you develop for a lifetime. I look forward to seeing you all in September. Congratulations and good luck.
To those of us who are parents, we know the joy of raising children. And we also know there's clearly a lot of work involved. A lot of work. Raising children is like growing a garden. And as you consider that garden, there's several crops we have to plant. We need 3 rows of peas. We need patience. We need prayer, and then we probably need a third row of patience. We need 2 rows of squash. We need to squash gossip, and we need to squash blaming others. And then, of course, we need 3 rows of lettuce. Let us be kind, let us be unselfish, and let us be courageous. And then in that garden, there's a special section for parents for turnips. We need to turn up to support. We need to turn up with a smile. And there are times we need to turn up with an arm around our child just to say, it's okay, we're here for you, everything will be better. As parents, we know that's our responsibility. We also know it's our blessing. Thank you for the opportunity to be partners with you in the development and the maturation of your children. It's an honor, and it truly is a blessing. And for you students, well, I've learned a lot from you today. I have learned not to skip nap time. I have learned the pineapples are good. I have learned days of the week. I have learned days of the week. Thank you. I have learned that it's okay to write your parents' letters even if you're not in red. Remember that one, that's a good one. I have learned that you can survive numerous injuries, that wiffle ball does not end, ever, and that apparently somewhere on this campus there is still a scoop of pink ice cream. I've also learned that all of us have gained a great deal from the opportunities that we've had with our teachers. Mrs. Papa, you are receiving a lifetime supply of Venture vouchers, and we would all like to thank you for everything that you have done for us for so long. So I brought this up because on Saturday, the class of 2021 will be wearing these hats. And I don't know if you really have had the opportunity to study these hats and understand what they mean and what they do. When the graduates come in, they will come in with the tassel on the right-hand side. And it means that they have received the right to wear this hat. And then when they graduate, they get to move it to the left-hand side because they now have the right to leave this institution and move on. Commencement really is the word for a beginning, right? When you commence something, you begin something. And this movement of leaving one place and beginning a journey to the next place is what's going to happen to the graduates on Saturday. It's what will happen to you very, very soon, quicker than we as parents and we as teachers can even imagine. So will you join me in presenting this hat to Mrs. Russin, because she has the chance to move to her next, to her next opportunity. Kathy, thank you so much. So to you sixth graders, congratulations. And I want you to just be careful because somewhere on this campus, there is still a scoop of pink ice cream.
I know exactly where that ice cream is, so I will be watching out for it. Thank you, Dr. Lloyd. Thank you, Mr. Morato, for those warm words of welcome to the middle schoolers, and thank you, Steve. So, as we conclude this morning's lower school closing, let me once again thank everyone for such a wonderful school year. It's really tough to remember to put the mask on, take the mask off, so I apologize for that. It is bittersweet for me. As Steve said, this is my last lower school closing as principal. However, because of your incredible children, even with the pandemic in place, this year has been just as wonderful as all the rest. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. This summer, as you vacation in different places, and this summer, hopefully, we'll be able to travel to different places. Be sure to take with you your RPS t-shirts, RPS sweatshirts, hats, something that shows off that you love RPS. Take a picture of it, send it to Mrs. Keene, and we'll make sure they get posted to one of our upcoming news flashes. We'll all be looking forward to seeing it, including me, because I'm going to keep up on what's going on at Rutgers Prep. So we're hoping to share them, yours to share yours with us, and we'll share ours with you. Rutgers Prep is an incredible place because of you. We're lucky to be part of a family. Rutgers Prep is our second family. Enjoy your summer, rest, relax, be safe, and above all, have fun. And as new members of the 6th grade class continue making us proud, because we know you can move the world. At this time, we're going to conclude our closing by asking our new 6th graders to come up to the risers. And yes, when you get to the risers, you may take off your masks for a photo op for all of our parents to come up and take pictures. So congratulations, 6th graders, come on up.